I couldn't have asked for anything more on Friday. A 2-0 sweep in the NFL as a red-hot preseason continued. Cashing in with my best bet as Kansas City got the job done in the first half easily against Minnesota. And then here on the video report, an easy free winner, another first half play as Carolina cashed easily against Pittsburgh. Now I've got another free selection coming your way. In just a moment, I'm going to take a look at the game between Tampa Bay and Houston as the defending Super Bowl champions hit the road to take on the Texans in their final preseason game. Now again, a quick reminder, today, once more, the biggest single discount of the entire season is available. 30% off your total purchase price using the coupon code 30%, 30PERCENT. I make this available at this time of year every single year for the past 19 years. And I do it at this time of the year, the final weekend of preseason play, right when college football starts with just a couple games, here and there. And before the NFL season starts for a reason. I do it as a reward for those of you that have been here throughout the dog days of summer, because you are the most loyal customers here at the site, because you, like me, realize that you can make money in baseball and you love betting baseball. That's the bottom line. Because as I always like to say, if you took a pie, 100% of that pie is gambling in the NFL, about 85% still betting throughout March Madness. But when you get to the NBA playoffs, you're looking probably at that pie shrinking to maybe 30-35%. But by the time baseball comes along, maybe 15% of that gambling pie is left. So it's my way of rewarding you for your loyalty and your patronage. It's the single biggest discount of the year. What will happen is some players will come back next weekend when college football has a bigger handful of games, and then everybody will come back week one of the NFL season, and there will be a discount, but it won't be this big. 30% off your total purchase price. It's good for any combination of picks and or packages, but it's a one-time usage coupon, meaning you have to put it in your shopping cart and put all your purchases in to maximize your savings as well. If you ever have any questions, you can always contact customer service. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get back to your complimentary play. As I alluded to on the website, every time I have a play like this, which I did Monday night, the Saints in the first half, which I did yesterday with Kansas City in the first half, which I did yesterday here with Carolina in the first half, you've got to always consider first half plays in the NFL preseason. Because, again, the most important thing that you've got to know when betting the preseason is what's your quarterback rotation, and two, what's your coach's intent when it comes to playing the starters. Now, do coaches lie? Yeah. And do they always stick to their plan? No. But if you know those two variables, well, then you've got to realize that you are betting those two variables, and you do not want to be betting the second half of these games when guys that are going to be watching games on TV like you and I a week from now, do you want your money on those guys? No. You saw last night where Kansas City absolutely dominated Minnesota in the first half. And then what happened in the second half when the Vikings scored 15 unanswered points in the fourth quarter at one point and came back for the backdoor cover? Yeah, it happens. Listen, I myself made a mistake a few weeks ago when Pittsburgh was taking on Detroit, and the Lions scored 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to come back and get the backdoor cover, and ultimately in a 26-20 loss, a game that the Steelers absolutely dominated. I made a tactical error in that one. It was probably the biggest mistake I made and the only mistake I made this entire preseason. It happens sometimes, but 99% of the time you have to look at first half plays in the preseason. And tonight I'm going to do another one here, as I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus the points in the first half, laying 4.5 points at Houston. Now, could I take Tampa Bay minus the 4 points for the entire game at Houston? Sure. But listen, Bruce Arians said he is going to probably play his starters for the first half. And then Arians was asked, and he said, this is his exact quote, "It could always change, but I want to get some good work in." Now, generally, Bruce Arians is a guy who you can take him for his word. And this is a Buccaneers team that has 22 returning starters from the Super Bowl team. So that means you're going to see Tom Brady and the guys getting the bulk of the action tonight against Houston. And the Texans were one of the worst teams in the NFL last year, and they aren't much better this season, okay? So you've got a Texans team that's starting Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. Taylor's only played 23 snaps so far in the preseason. What makes Taylor successful? Running the ball. He's a mobile quarterback. Do you really think that the Texans are going to really open up their offense and let Taylor go crazy back there? I don't think so. And you have one of the best defenses out there in the Bucs anyway. I think that this is a cheap price. Now, the Texans have been certainly more than respectable here in the preseason because their defense has forced 7 turnovers. It's a new defensive coordinator with Lovie Smith taking over that D. But listen, they forced 7 turnovers against a bunch of backups the first 2 weeks. This is still a defense that was historically bad last year, forcing just 9 or coming up with just 9 takeaways all season long. And that defense that forced 7 turnovers the first 2 preseason games has yet to face a starting quarterback yet. Tonight they're facing Tom Brady. So I think Tom Brady, will he play the entire first half? I don't think necessarily. Listen, I think Tom Brady, if he gets a couple of good series in, I can certainly see Bruce Arians saying, hey, game, set, match. Brady, you sit on the bench. But I still think the rest of the starters could see substantial action for the Bucs, and I'm laying 4.5 points. That's the way you play that game. Tampa minus 4.5 at Houston tonight. That's your complimentary play. I wish you well, guys. Now, the college football games today, I looked at them. I mean, are these teams, Nebraska, Illinois, Hawaii, UCLA, that you're interested in? I mean, among those 2 games, I would lean toward UCLA. Maybe they'll play defense this year, the Bruins. I mean, Nebraska, Illinois, I don't know, flip a coin. These preseason games, as I said in yesterday's video report, I have had more preseason plays this August than I've had the past 4 years combined, because this new abbreviated preseason schedule has made picking this game so much easier because the coaches have a definitive plan. And with the advent of even more joint practices, and you know what I'm talking about, of course, teams playing each other or practicing and scrimmaging against each other twice a week and then playing a game on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, it has made picking these preseason games so much easier. Why do I want to mess around with a couple of meaningless games? We've got lots of college football action ahead of us. I'll worry about that then. Good luck, everybody.